Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to episode 14 of Prehistoric Playground. Today's episode, we are going to be talking about what if the hybrids in Jurassic World were actually real dinosaurs. Now, before we actually begin, I want to talk about something. I know that this could not actually happen. You could not actually have a real Indominus Rex in real life for multiple reasons that I will get to later, but we are going to talk about if it was possible. And we're not going to be talking about all the hybrids because, quite frankly, there's way too much to go over. So, without further ado, sit back, relax, and I hope you enjoy today's episode. First of all, before we get into this video, I want to say that none of these three dinosaurs could exist at all, for multiple reasons. The main reason why these animals cannot exist is because they are not related in any way, shape, or form. Because when you think about it, a T-Rex and a Velociraptor, they wouldn't really mix. Also, various other reasons. But yes, we're gonna get into it. So, without further ado, we're going to be talking about everybody's favorite first hybrid, the Indominus Rex. So, first of all, ignoring the several species it took up to make this thing in the movies, we're only going to be talking about the T-Rex and the Velociraptor aspect. So, I also want to point out, before we actually begin, we're just going to ignore the highly inaccuracy of producing hybrids like this, and we're just going to ignore the fact that this wouldn't work. So for this scenario of these dinosaurs somehow being able to become a thing, we're just going to say it works. So we're going to ignore size, we're going to ignore species, we're going to ignore all of that and just say, what if these animals to make this hybrid could breed, and what would it possibly look like in real life? So, starting off with Indominus Rex. Oh boy. So, we have to take into consideration that Indominus Rex is made up of a bunch of stuff. It's made up of a T-Rex, it's made of a Velociraptor, a Carnotaurus, Ankylosaurus, frogs, cuttlefish, snakes, possibly human. So we have to ignore all that. So we're just going to be comparing it to the T-Rex and the Velociraptor aspects of this thing. So T-Rex and Velociraptor, they never met because T-Rex was found in North America. Velociraptor mongoliensis, which is what the velociraptors in Jurassic Park are called. That's their species name in Jurassic Park, so that's what we're going to go for. They would not be the ones breeding, but there is a species of dromaeosaurid that was living alongside T-Rex. It was called Echoraptor. I have no idea if I'm pronouncing that right, but I'm just going to call it Echoraptor from this point on until somebody actually gives me the correct pronunciation for this animal. But I guess we should just actually talk about this guy. Echoraptor is a genus of dromaeosaurid theropod dinosaur from the latest part of the Maastrichtian stage of the Cretaceous period, and was found in the Hell Creek Formation of Montana in the United States. And so far, it contains a single species, Archaeoraptor timbratorium. That's the best I can do. Fossil evidence for this dinosaur, we only have the front part of the snout. We have the maxilla and some dentary bones. It was puny compared to T-Rex. It was about 9 feet, well, almost 10 feet long. So, think of Carnotaurus' height, but lengthwise, that's how big that animal was. It wasn't as big as T-Rex, but it was still pretty big for a late Cretaceous dromaeosaurid, considering the fact that Velociraptor was 6 feet long, so it has a good 3 feet on it. Compared to the 40 feet long T-Rex, it's adorable compared to it. So, we're just gonna say these two dinosaurs, I'm not gonna say which one was male, which one was female, because either way, it makes absolutely no sense of which one would be male or which one would be female for the best comparison. I just don't see how that could be possible from a relatively accurate scientific standpoint of which one would be the male or which one would be the female. But we're just going to say it worked and they produced a new offspring, Indominus Rex. First of all, let's get into what would change about Indominus Rex compared to its Jurassic Park counterpart. So first of all, Indominus Rex actually is slightly taller than T-Rex. If it truly was a hybrid, meaning that it was the T-Rex's offspring, we would have to assume that it would probably be a little bit bigger than Echiraptor, but not as big as T-Rex, fully grown, considering the fact that it was bred from a dinosaur that was literally 13 feet tall and about 40 foot long, breeding with an animal that's, about 4 foot tall and about 10 feet long. So, you gotta take into consideration that it would be much, much smaller than the T-Rex, but a little bit bigger than Echiraptor. Also, we would have to take out the snake parts, which means that the mouth couldn't open as long. We would have to take out its camouflage that it gets from the chameleon and the cuttlefish, and we would have to take out the thermal imaging that it also gets from the snake. It also has Allosaurus horns. Get rid of those. It is also bulletproof in the Jurassic Park movies because of the Ankylosaurus DNA that's in it. Also, get rid of that. And from what I've read, it has crocodilian things. My guess is it probably has pressure sensors in the front of its snout, just like Spinosaurus does. Get rid of those too. So basically, what we're left with is a theropod still, but do we determine that it would have small arms like T-Rex, or would it have about a mixture of the two? Would it have 2-fingered hands? Just for the simple fact that it's made up of T-Rex, we're going to give it 2-fingered hands, and we're going to give it the toe claw that Velociraptor has. It would obviously be covered in feathers, and it would have, and just for the sake of the fact that it's made of both, the snout would probably, since the T-Rex would be the more dominant trait, in my opinion, it would have sort of a T-Rex looking snout. I'm trying to imagine what this would look like in real life, and it is very difficult for me. So yes, just from what we've seen now, it would look completely different compared to what it would look like in Jurassic Park. I hope this satisfies you guys. The amount of research that this takes is very difficult, so I do apologize if this seems kind of stupid. Now we're going to be talking about the Indoraptor, which the Indoraptor is a interesting creature. So, since some hybrids can't breed, the only way to explain the creation of the Indoraptor is to use the liger and the tigon for comparison. A liger is the offspring of a male lion and a female tiger, and a tigon is a female lion and a male tiger. So to apply this scenario, the Indominus Rex is the offspring of a male T-Rex and a female Velociraptor, or in this regard, they were using a female Eoraptor, while an Indoraptor is the offspring of a male Eoraptor and a female T-Rex. Due to the research that I have found, this is the only way for these animals to exist in real life, but with Jurassic Park's lore, anything is possible. But we still have to change a few things for this animal to be remotely scientifically accurate. First things first, it couldn't crawl on all fours. It couldn't do that. It's still a theropod. So it'd have to be an upright stance, And it would have to get rid of the cuttlefish stuff, we'd have to get rid of the snake stuff, and the stuff that's nothing like its ancestors. It would still have feathers, it would still be... It would have the sickle-shaped claw that raptors do have, which it has anyway, so we're good on that one. It would be coated in feathers. I don't know if it would be completely black, though, with a yellow stripe going down. It would probably look like a big-ass bird. So, that's really the only way for Indoraptor to exist. And I know that I talked more about Indominus Rex, but because that was the first hybrid, it had to have more explanations than that. So, this is the best thing I can do with Indoraptor. Now, the sad part of everything, so out of all the hybrids in Jurassic World that exist, there is the Indominus Rex, there's the Indoraptor, there's also a dinosaur called the Spinoraptor, there's also Ankylodocus, and there's also Stegoceratops. Ankylodocus would not work because it's a Diplodocus with a Ankylosaurus. They didn't exist at the same time, so we can't do a thing on those. Stegoceratops, again, they existed at completely different times. The Stegosaurus was in the late Jurassic, whereas the Triceratops was in the late Cretaceous. So we couldn't really talk about that, but I was fairly disappointed when I figured out, due to research that I did do about this, there are no evidence of dromaeosaurids in Egypt or Morocco, as far as we know. So, just judging based on research, there are no... In this hypothetical scenario, there would be no way for Spinoraptor to be a real dinosaur. So I was very sad about that, because Spinoraptor in the game actually looks pretty cool, and it would be fun to imagine what a real-life Spinoraptor would look like. But it's a sad day, but we have to deal with it. So, I do apologize that we only got to talk about 2 hybrids, because I originally promised 3, but, you know, it's what I got. So, but yeah. So, that is the end of this episode. Thank you to anybody that watched this. I severely hope that this was an episode worth your time. I really do appreciate anybody that watches my videos. And if you did enjoy this, and if you feel like I deserve it, please leave a like on the video. And if you feel like I really deserve it, subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell, and so you don't miss out on videos like this in the future. Well, not like this, but, you know, Prehistoric Playground in general. So, thank you to everybody that watched. Hope you guys enjoy, and as always, stay frosty.